So let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right. It's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Thanks to Tom Vecchio for joining us. Hour number 3 here. Dolphins kick a field goal. Tua had one of the stupidest passes you'll ever see on second down here. They got it deep inside Jets territory, so they kick a field goal. So not the worst thing in the world, Gabe. We're sitting on the over there, 44.5, 43.5, depending on where you got your number. So it's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Dolphins by 2 touchdowns. Can we get the by the way from Justin Fields?
Yeah, we're 3 points away, Scott, but we're really not, right? It's one of those deceptive deals. Yeah. They're not kicking a field goal. They're down 27-13. Although we do see a lot of insane things in the NFL, so I never want to. I don't know, maybe. We got time. And
He's a Dan Campbell disciple, right? Maybe. You never know.
He's like, no. We're going to kick a field goal. Trust me. We're going to go for an onside kick. It's all going to work out. Yeah. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, so we're 3 points away, but we need a touchdown. There's 3 minutes left, under 3 minutes left in the game. It's touchdown or bust for us. And Fields is taking off now, Scott. This is you know what? You and I talk about it. When are quarterbacks at their best, when the coaches can't really mess with them as much.
Right.
The coaches, what are they going to do now? They're in a no huddle here. They're hurrying up. Fields can lie to them. I had to take off. It wasn't there. You know what I mean? So Fields in his own mind, Fields isn't going to start overriding them early in the game. But now it's if I'm to want to take off and there's space, I'm going to take off. And he's better taking off. He's picking up big yards here, Scott, running. Now he throws it down the field. And it's just not there. He can throw the football well. But look at on this pass here. He throws into double coverage. He was slow to see the open receiver. That's the problem with him. It's not his throws. It's when he throws it.
Yeah. It's just, I will say, I think they get it. I really do. Here's why. The Dolphins coming into this game, Gabe, this is really amazing. In 3 games, right? It's the 4th game. They've given up points in 13 of the full 15 drives that they've faced. They don't count kneel down for halftime or at the end of the game.
That's insane.
13 out of 15 they have. So if this Jets team can't get an by the way, not just a playback, kill time, guys. If they can't score even a touchdown against this Dolphin defense right now, then I don't know what to tell you about Justin Fields. I just,
that's something too that I reflect on McDaniel in a way. What's the old saying, guys, right? The team is the identity of their coach, the personality of the coach. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it's supposed to be, right? Like, and McDaniel, their defense is soft, Scott. Like, everyone talks about Tua this and McDaniel and the offense and stuff, but what's the problem with the like you said, the problem is they can't get stops, dude. Like, teams just push them around. And it's a real thing. I know I'll give credit to the Florida Panthers, Scott. It hasn't made them soft. If anything, the Panthers are one of the dirtiest teams and toughest teams in the league, right? But, dude, it makes teams soft. Like, the Miami Heat are only good every once in a while. For the most part, dude, the Heat are, they suck, and their players are just happy to be in Miami. They're chill. Look at the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker and stuff. Like, these warm weather cities can kill teams, man. Like, they really do. It's like, yeah, I lost, but I got a super hot girlfriend. I'm going out to South Beach. It's great. I hang out with Instagram models. Look at the cheerleaders. I'm making $12 million a year. I'm good. I don't. All right, yeah, we're not winning. Okay, but I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? The Dolphins don't seem to have. You're a Dolphin fan. But you know what I'm talking about? They just seem soft. Where's the pride, Scott? Where's the pride?
Yeah. You know, when they walk off the field and they're not disgusted and everything else, and then the dopey head coach, in the post game is saying, well, we tried and we looked okay, and, got some positives out of it.
We said we look good in practice all week. I don't really understand why we didn't win.
Really well. Guys are trying. No.
He always says that. We had a really good week of practice. It's like, okay, coach, that doesn't matter. Like, it's not translating,
Yeah. Maybe you should have a bad week in practice then. Do something to change things up.
No, but and honestly, too, and I get it, your physical presence, Scott, shouldn't matter. But you know as well as I do, it does. It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
How is this guy supposed to walk into a room with a bunch of guys like this and freaking lose it, and they're going to be scared for real, Scott? It won't happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the coach of Vegas in the or Golden State, the assistant, Nikasi, she won the Coach of the Year in the WNBA. People were talking about, you know what? She should be the first women's coach in the WNBA. And I said, guys, she's like 4'8". Like you know what I mean? Like, see her on the sidelines. Like,
they would
it won't work. Yeah, like, it's not
sense.
like, like they would respect her in an X and O's way, and she could tell them things, but like, they wouldn't hear her. Like, Becky Hammond at least has that scowl, Scott. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She looks mean, and she's like, listen, don't F with me, right? And she's a Popovich disciple, etc. So McDaniel, this Miami Vice stuff, bro. Like, come on, I got to believe the players are laughing at him. Like, that stuff matters. Kyle Turley told me this, Scott, about Rex Ryan. I said, Kyle, I imagine you like to play with Rex Ryan. He says, he's your type of guy. He goes, Rex Ryan's a great guy to have beers with, but I don't want to play with him. He goes, he's not tough enough. Pretty crazy, eh? Turley told me that. He goes, he's not tough enough. He goes, Rex Ryan wants to be friends with the players and go out with the players and stuff. He goes, there's not a coach. He goes, you need a coach and player relationship. He goes, Rex Ryan wants to go out and drink beers with the old line after practice. You know what I mean? I'm dead serious. But you know what? When Rex Ryan was the coach of the Buffalo Bills, Scott, the Buffalo Bills led the league in penalties because there's no accountability. Right? Rex is on the sideline freaking out at the ref. He's not going to get mad at me if I hit someone late. He's going to think it's cool. Oh, I got him, coach. You know what I mean? Like, Sean McDermott comes in, Scott. McDermott will bench your ass. Oh, you too many penalties. You got to sit. Whoa, did we just get an awesome catch?
Yeah, we got
Let's go. And you know what? We're killing the touchdown props tonight. Garrett Wilson, touchdown, Scott.
Yes,
game goes over.
Got it.
Game goes over.
Beautiful. Now just don't recover the onside kick. I don't want you to screw around with that. But
you're a Dolphin fan. It's one of those when you're cheering for the other team. And
don't cheer too loud.
That's the best. That's the worst and best feeling. I remember in the championship game a couple of years ago with Michigan and Washington. I bet the over, and I was like so happy Michigan's have been winning the title and stuff. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? I really wouldn't mind. Like, I didn't want to say it out loud to Michigan people. I'm like, I wouldn't really mind Penix like scoring a touchdown here, though. Like,
Yeah.
What do I care if we win by 21 or like 14? I wanted more points,
Yeah. I go through different moods, Gabe, where sometimes I can, but other times I think I'm getting too old. Like I bet Michigan, right, when they played Nebraska 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, right? And there was another.
Yeah.
There was one other one. I forget which one it was.
So the Jets are going for two, for the record. They are.
Okay.
Oh, my God, the 27-21. Did you get this one in or the second game? It's now 27-21.
7-21. We can hit it. Wow, I didn't do it on air, but I did play it. The boys on the podcast.
Dude, of all the games, I always tell you, too, not tonight. This was effing one that I should have done tonight. This was the one that, this could be 27-21. These two teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 125.
Dude, imagine the sequence. The sequence of this, of like, wow, they scored a late touchdown. They got to go for two. I look up, I'm like, it's 27-21 right now. 27-19.
There's no reason for them to go to two there, right? You make it 27-20. Well, what? All right, so you're down 6. I get it. You're going to win if you get
the modern analytics might just win you this bet.
Yeah. How about that? 125-1, 27-21. Now watch the dopey Dolphins return the kickoff back for a touchdown. We'll let you know what turns out.
It should be good.
Wow.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
MVP hopes, as far as my eyes can see, out of here. No way. No way. Not with what I'm seeing around this league right now. Josh Allen should be in front of him. He is. Herbert should be in front of him. He's not just yet. Jalen Hurts should be in front of Lamar Jackson. People may not want to hear that, but it's true. Jordan Love is in front of Lamar Jackson. That's a pump the brake special. Come on now.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, we got a little bit of a game here. Dolphins do recover the onside kick, so 27-21. Jets have one time out. So, I mean, theoretically, they could get the ball back, I think, with about 15 or so seconds left. And knowing my luck, the Jets will do one of those goofy Hail Mary or pass the lateral the ball around and be picked up by the Dolphins, and the Dolphins will score, and that'll screw up our 27-21.
Always a crazy history between these teams at the end. That's why I'm thinking, I almost feel like something's going to happen. But you're good, dude. There's not enough time. There's 12 seconds. They're done. You're good.
Yeah. Famous last words. So touchdown. I will say this about, we've been ripping him the whole game, especially me. So, but Justin Fields, his numbers, 19 of 26 for 198 yards and 1 touchdown. And then he's got the touchdown run, 7 carries for 81 yards. So, but, did he really play winning football tonight? No, not really. I don't even know if that last touchdown should have counted. One thing about these officials when they go to review, boy, they determine when the catch is made right as it touches their hands. In reality, just because it touches your hands doesn't mean you've actually caught the ball. But they said that was a catch. He got into the end zone. So there you go. So that 13 seconds left. And it looks like we're going to hit our 27-21. How about that? 7-1. We do the team that's
This was the game.
This was it. This was
the
only
game.
125-1 versus 150-1 like it normally is. But I'll take it. Who's going to complain
Yeah, but
about
still,
that,
you can
right?
play the rest of the year now, and you're covered from the. It's pretty wild that the Dolphins actually had to punt after all that. Like pretty risky that they it didn't get blocked and something wild.
That's what I mean.
Didn't
13 seconds left. 13 seconds. It's me. It's me. So this is
I don't understand this either. If you watch this, so the Dolphins had to punt. There's with like 10 seconds left, but they killed a bunch of time and they downed it on the 2-yard line. So the Dolphins had to punt, but 3 Jet players actually nearly got there. Like they actually did a good job of getting pressure on the punt, but it's like they all eased up, worried about a penalty or something. It's like I don't understand it. At that point, guys, just go hellbent. Watch the replay. It's kind of weird. Like the Jet players got there and kind of eased up and let them kick it. It's like, guys, who cares if you get a penalty? It's a miracle if we stop it or whatever. We're looking for a miracle here. Freaking nail them if you can, actually. And if you get a piece of the ball, we'll get away with it. I
brought this up before, Gabe. That's why I always say if I'm the Jets in this case, I'm rushing all 11 guys. First off, on if you're the punting team, who practices blocking 11 guys? Nobody, right? Nobody but nobody.
Watch
so
this last play. This is insane here. This is actually pretty crazy what the Jets are doing here. Wow.
Oh, no.
They made it 30 yards. They actually pulled it off. Garrett Wilson got the ball, ran with it, threw it to someone else who ran down the sidelines. But they actually made it 30 yards out of the end zone on this little shenanigan, Scott. I almost, I'm happy to hit your play, and I'm on the Miami Dolphins, but we almost had one of those Stanford band moments here.
Oh, my goodness.
When you said, I don't know. Watch the replay here. It's wow, this is actually developing.
And could you imagine them then getting a touchdown, then missing the extra point, going to overtime, and they win by 7, and we lose our bet? Right. I mean, that's the 20. But right, in that punting situation, going back to that, listen, you're not going to score from your own 5-10 yard line with 10 seconds left, right? You have a better chance of blocking the punt and returning it for a touchdown, especially with all the block punts and block kicks going around the NFL. So if I'm the Jets, and if you say, listen, well, then no one's back there to catch the ball, the clock's going to run out, so what? I'd rather risk, trying to score on a block punt with 11 guys than expect to go 90, 95 yards, which never is going to happen, even with these lateral plays.
They didn't have enough time, I guess, and they were in a weird part of the field, but we saw it yesterday with Philadelphia. Philadelphia did not want to punt at the end of the game, and they took a safety. So, they pulled the CFL. CFL, that happens a lot, where they don't want to give you field position, so the punter will, back up and concede. You see it once in a while in the NFL. It didn't affect the point spread, though, Scott. It was close, you know what I'm saying? It turned it from, a 7-point game to a 5-point game.
Right.
And I was getting 3, and I was getting 4 with Tampa only. Right. So it wasn't quite enough, but I'm sure it mattered to someone out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Every point matters somewhere.
Yeah.
Or someone, I don't know, someone bet that will there be a safety prop and they hit it on a miracle at the end of the game. You'll see it once a year in the NFL. A coach will say, you know what, we'll just end the game. There's enough time, back off. So on to the second half here of the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. And Scott is pretty much going the way that it did in the first half. Broncos ball right now, controlling the clock, moving the football. They're in complete control of this football game with a 21-3 lead. Point spread is 22.5 now.
Yeah. Normally I would be all over Cincinnati again, but It's just after what we saw last week when they didn't put up a second half fight, like I said before, they never stopped trying. They were throwing the ball all over the place, but it never materialized. Same thing. They got the ball to start the second half, I do believe. And actually, no, Denver did. But, it was 3 and out. So what are we seeing that thinks that things are going to change? I mean, Jake Browning looks awful. Well, I'm really surprised. Really, at this point, I'm still hoping to get our 34 and a half attempts, but he's got 16. He's got 66 yards. Man,
they just don't have the ball ever. And when they do, it's like this 3 and out all the time. Like you said, let me see how many plays they've run tonight compared to the Denver Broncos.
51 to 30 plays for Denver. 19
I'm surprised it's not even more one-sided.
I know.
Last night in the Dallas game, it was 29-11, late in the first half for Green Bay. The fact that they were somehow losing at the half was a miracle. If I was Green Bay, I'd be like Green Bay, how do we, they ran 11 plays, Dallas. But this is so flat 2 weeks in a row, Scott. And I get it. Burrow is out. And you know what's crazy? That's going to be the excuse for Zach Taylor, but
yeah,
we all know Zach Taylor's not a great coach. Let's just call it out for what it is. And just because Joe Burrow's out, what's your excuse for giving up 30 points a game every week? Right? Your defense is terrible.
9 penalties as well. They're 4 minutes into the second. They're on pace for 15, 16 penalties, Cincinnati.
This is ugly.
Yeah. All right, more coming up.
So let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins' head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right, it's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say the caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So we got one in the books. Dolphins win, and they cover, and the game goes over unexpectedly, but it does 27-21. And if you've just been following us over the last month or so, we've been doing the 27-21 favorite winning. So hopefully you catch that 7-1 ticket, cha-ching, cha-ching. So I will say it's probably not going to happen. But I got Cincinnati 27-21 in the second game. We do have one from Denver, 21. We just need to get to Cincinnati with 24 more points, which at this rate, I don't know if they score 24 points over the next 3 weeks, let alone the rest of this game. Well, we'll get into some baseball here in a second, but
that division. Like we all thought, like coming into the year, wow, what a competitive division this is going to be, right? Like,
yeah,
the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Browns were the afterthought. But the Ravens have problems, Scott. Like Lamar Jackson, the offense is kind of struggling. Lamar's injured now. The defense is literally the worst defense in the NFL. They're worse than the Bengals defense. They're giving up 33 points a game.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. They gave up 41 to Buffalo. They gave up 37 yesterday. They gave up 38. What was it? The game before to the
37
Lions?
to Detroit.
Yeah,
38-31 or 37-30, whatever it was. Yeah,
37.
It's
yesterday.
33 points a game though, on average. The lowest points they've given up. They gave up 17 to Cleveland. Yeah, the Browns scored 17 on them.
17. So. And the schedule, listen, you look at the schedule this past, they're at home, but the Texans and Rams, Texans at least won yesterday. They're looking at,
the Rams
you don't get a split. Yeah.
Yeah.
2-4 before things ease up.
I don't think Pittsburgh are that good either.
Dolphins,
but
Vikings.
They might be the best team in the division, right? They might, like Pittsburgh, might just be one of these smoke and mirrors type of deals. Minnesota are kind of flaky right now. But I believe we've got our Denver Bronco fan in the house here. Mick Aussie repping the Broncos. Look at this, Mick.
Nice.
What jersey is that? Was that Von Miller? Old school, what was that, a Von Miller jersey?
Of course, mate. The legend, Super Bowl champ, Broncos, and, of course, the Rams. So, yeah, mate, we've had a rough start to the year, eh? We shouldn't have lost. We only just lost to the Chargers. We shouldn't have lost to the Colts, so we need a big win tonight, and it's looking good, isn't it? 21-3, we're going to destroy them and cover the -7.5.
Oh, yeah. Where's the Denver Bronco hat, though? I get the Aussie look there, but you got to get a Denver Bronco Aussie hat, no?
Oh, I got a helmet.
He's got
back.
it all,
You
Scott.
lots of stuff, mate.
Yeah, where he's got a mug. Where normally he's got you got your Denver Bronco. He's got a mug. He's got it all.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he's got the helmets and the mugs. Yeah, he's classy. The hat that's his patented look there. Don't you have a Peyton Manning jersey too? I know you have a Peyton Manning Broncos jersey.
Oh yeah. Funny story. I wonder why it was so cheap. Then I didn't realise for 2 years afterwards it started to fray. It was one of those ones from China, mate. They're so good, I didn't even realise it was a rip-off.
It was a knockoff? It was a knockoff?
Yeah, I didn't know, mate. I didn't know. They're so good, eh?
Oh, that's funny. So, are you guys going are you making the playoffs here? You're going to be 2-2 right after tonight. You're not going to lose at this point. I doubt that. So, what's the outlook realistically for the Broncos?
Oh, mate, we got to pick it up. Like I said, losing that game to the Colts. What a disgrace with that blocked field goal at the end. But you know what? We got it tough because the Chiefs, they're coming good. Sadly, I was hoping they'd be down for a while. And the Chargers, with Harbaugh coaching, Gabe knows he's a star. He's got Herbert on fire. They had a hiccup yesterday out there on the East Coast against the Giants because there's still a little bit of surfer boys out there, the Chargers. But they're going to be good, so we got to fight them for that wild card, I think.
So Jackson Dart wins yesterday. He becomes the first quarterback in like 23 years to make his debut and beat a team that was 3-0 or better. But I don't know if you guys caught this, but I don't even know who she is, so I'll be honest with you. So Justin Herbert's girlfriend is an actress, I guess, Madison Beer. I don't know what she's in, what this or that, but she's popular. So Jackson Dart posted a picture of her on his Instagram and basically said, "See you Sunday," like with a smiling emoji. Wow. I think it got in Herbert's head. I thought, man, I'm like, this kid, imagine, Scott, your first game in the NFL and you post a picture. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, man, I think that's the type of thing I think it got in Herbert's head.
Wow. Hold up in the line, Nick. We'll get more.
So let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right. It's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So another failed drive by the Cincinnati Bungles. At least they threw the ball a couple times. Just saw a stat on TV, Scott and Gabe talking with Mick Aussie. Check out his website, mickaussie.com. Since he had 4 first downs on their first drive, and he had 2 since heading into this last drive. I mean, that's just Mick. Wow. That's crazy, man.
This game is worse somehow. Like you figure the Jets and that game was actually way better than this. This is the terrible one. Like this is about. I'm almost wishing, man, I wish the Jets Dolphin game was on still right now because this one's just brutal. It's like a scrimmage for the Broncos, right? I mean, let's be real. Cincinnati haven't showed up. They got lit up last week, and they're not coming back from Europe or anything. You're coming back from Minnesota, guys. I 2 road games in a row. So you're getting lit up on national television, but are the Broncos, good? We know their defense is pretty good. I guess we'll find out this week, guys. Scott and Mick, your Broncos are going to Philadelphia. So that's the next game. Short week going to Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, I just saw Singleton tackle the quarterback, and he's a Stampeder and a former Eagle, so he'll be fired up. Good to see him back from his knee injury. Good, very good at linebacker. Look, Eagles are going average, aren't they? Terrible game. They got through yesterday against the Bucks. Let's hope the Broncos can keep going. And you're saying this is a terrible game? It's a great game because Broncos are winning big and want to destroy them. We need it. We need it.
Do they beat the Eagles, though? That was the question. You avoided the answer to that.
It's hard to say, yes.
In Philadelphia?
I'll give them a chance, and I hope so. And all those Eagles fans, they're the worst in the world, mate. Those Eagles fans are the biggest turncoats. I hope we beat them just to see those Eagles fans giving it to their own players, mate. They're terrible.
Hey, how about this with the Eagles? There's only 3 teams in the National Football League that have been out-yarded in all 3 games. So 3 teams, total yards per game, add them up, had that. Only 3 teams. The Houston, the Tennessee Titans, the Carolina Panthers, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Really?
Like, the Eagles are doing it with smoke and mirrors. Like, they were getting lit up. Look at the Dallas game in week 1, Scott. They didn't really look good against the Cowboys. Miles Sanders fumbles the ball, the lightning delay, whatever, and then the game just sort of ended in a blip after that. Sanders, they would have had the lead going to late. He fumbles the ball. The Ram game, they're down by 19. They got a freaking blocked field goal return for a touchdown. The Tampa game, Tampa stumbled out of the gate and then came on strong. I'll say yesterday was the best game that they played.
Yeah. I'm even surprised by Carolina. I mean, they shut out Atlanta 34-0. They didn't out-gain Atlanta in that game. I guess maybe because of the defensive touchdown and Atlanta was.
Yeah. There was weird turnovers and stuff. Yeah, weird. Yeah. There's been a lot of weird stats in the NFL this year, actually.
Yeah. That is interesting, though. Yeah. So
I saw it interesting. It was Todd Furman. Todd Furman, who long time in the sports industry. Yeah. Yeah, he also tweeted out, like, he said, when are you ever going to see this? Hawaii had the football for like 17 more minutes than Air Force. That Hawaii would win the battle of possession against a military team. Yeah, been some weird stats this year, but 21-3 Broncos, they're rolling. But what's your pick, Mick? Are the Broncos going to pull the upset? Are they going to say, you know what, we are as good as people said we were going to be? A lot of people thought the Broncos could win a division this year.
Yeah, well, you just got to worry about Bo Nix. I mean, he doesn't want those second-year blues, which a lot of quarterbacks have, but I'm pretty confident that he will be fine. And what's the spread of the Eagles? We'll get close. I'm not going to pick us to win, but I think we'll stay close. The Eagles, they're so big, aren't they, eh? Big boys, O-line, D-line, and some of their fans, and mate I was talking to, he just says they're stacked, so they're cruising. They should probably get to the Super Bowl again, but I don't want them to.
Is it Super Bowl or bust? Are we not at that level for Denver quite yet?
Oh, of course not. No. Look, we got a great coach, Sean Payton. He's got them sorted out. But how much did we lose with that Russell Wilson trade? That cost us a lot. So he's done well to get us back up there. Very good pick, taking Bo Nix. A lot of people didn't want him or didn't think he was very good, but he's looking like he could be a franchise quarterback for quite a while, and let's hope so. We definitely need him because we've been terrible at quarterback since Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Normally there'd be a point spread up. I can't find one. I've looked at multiple books right now.
Yeah, I guess because they're playing tonight, maybe they didn't want to put anything up. Yeah. Well, I'm looking too.
Yeah, it's weird though, Scott. You often see where games will be played and they still have the advanced line. But I've looked at 3 different books and nobody has a number up for the Broncos and Eagles. If you guys have taken a look at next week's card, though, from top to bottom, if there's ever a week that, you got to mow the lawn or, you know what I mean, you're getting told, you know what I mean, you always watch games all the time.
Be with the wife, yeah.
Yeah, Scott, exactly. You're the family, exactly. Like, looking at the slate. So how's this tune you guys up? We got a 9:30 a.m. game with the Minnesota Vikings and the Browns in London, England. Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. Here's a classic, the New York Giants against the New Orleans Saints. Raiders, Colts, Titans, Arizona. Tampa, Seattle's like the game of the day. Washington Commanders at the Chargers. Patriots at the Bills is the Sunday nighter. The Chiefs and Jags is the Monday nighter next week, Scott. Jacksonville's host to getting 3 against KC.
Wow. Dolphins, Panthers, another bad game. Titans, Cardinals. Oh, you're right, man. There is nothing. I mean,
look
just
yeah.
Your best one might be 4:00 Tampa Bay at Seattle. Just a 3-1 teams.
Yeah, for you heathens out there. Yeah, for you heathens out there that never say, I can't go to church this week, honey. We're going to go next week. This is the week.
This is the
10 a.m. This is the one. Like, what are you going to do, Scott? Gosh darn it, you're making me miss the first quarter of the Giants-Saint game.
Yeah. I mean, even though, like, the prime time game, you said it, New England, Buffalo, and on a Sunday night.
Oh, God.
Really?
That might be like, that could be bad. That could be a beating. I just said earlier, guys, the Bills aren't good as big favorites, but they don't like the Patriots. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. I see what FanDuel's got 8.5 right now, Buffalo. I'd rather lay 8.5 in this game than 15.5 against the Saints.
Yeah. How about the Chargers only 2.5-point home favorites over Washington? They were only 2.5 against Denver, too, a couple of weeks ago. Is there no love for the Chargers, Mick?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I'd go for the Chargers. Daniels, when's he coming back? That screwed me up yesterday with him out. But Gabe, the reason your Bills don't like the Patriots because they kicked your butts for like 20 years in a row until recently. That's why.
It was like 12 years in a row, but yes, it was true. It wasn't 20. No, it was pretty bad. Tom Brady's like 30. I think his record was 35-3 against the Bills. So yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 30 in a row. I remember.
Yeah. It's bad. That's why Buffalo, I hate to admit it, but Buffalo were the ones that started the whole throwing the dildos on the field stuff at Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That was years ago, right? Like they had enough of Tom Brady. And they were like, we can't take this guy. Can't take this guy anymore. But recently, though, the Bills have they've returned the favor, right? But the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl to finish it off, right? But the Bills have been super dominant against the Patriots. Like, what are they, like 9-1 type thing?
Yeah. Tough week for Survivor Pool. You know, if you use the Bills already, there's not many like that. You really you want to go with the road teams. I'll stay away from Detroit. You know, Seattle, Tampa Bay, toss up Tennessee.
There is
Arizona.
no automatic survivor, Scott. To be honest, when you look at the point spreads,
yeah,
like really, I'm looking at the spread 3.5, 3.5, 6.5, 1, 3.5, 9. Yeah, I guess, man. So Scott, the Arizona Cardinals, Scott, are going to be the survivor pick, and people are going to be stressed out of that one.
Yeah. We just like Kyler Murray to screw you up. Nick, great job, man. Check out his website, nickaussie.com. Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, guys.
So let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right. It's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be as if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So thank the Mick Aussie. Check out his website, nickaussie.com. Well, we're getting just nothing out of this Bungles team. I'm really surprised. It's the backup quarterback. But after laying an egg last week, bounce back spot. We've talked all game day about how better he is than what he showed last week in the Bengals offense and this and that. But like I said, 4 first downs on their first drive. They've had 4 since their early fourth quarter. Browning's 11-20, so we got a ways to go before we get our 34. I can't believe that's not going to cash. I just can't believe, Gabe, that they are that bad. They can't run. They got 48 yards rushing. They can't throw. They got less than 150 yards. Well, 154 to be exact, total offensive yards. I mean, it's just they're not getting Higgins the ball. They're not getting Chase the ball. Awful.
Lethargic is the word, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they look like they're scrimmaging. I'll be real. Like, it looks like they're scrimmaging. It looks like one team is playing a game and the other team. Honestly, it looks like this has the feel of a college football game, Scott. And the Denver Broncos, they're the Virginia Cavaliers, and Cincinnati are Kent State. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got no chance. Like, they can't even get a first down. Yeah, like,
it's nationally televised game.
Before the game, I brought it up that earlier in the week, I was thinking the same thing you were thinking. I'm like, Jake Browning isn't, I know he's been to Jake Browning Bash Fest, but I'm like, he's not terrible. He can throw the football. They just got humiliated last week. They're on national television this week. There's a lot of, like, I could get the angles that, you know what, and the Denver Broncos offense, Scott, isn't really good enough to blow anybody out. Let's be real. Unless you only score 3 points, right? Unless you only score 3 points. Like, Denver kind of tapped out here at 21. And, you know, we can criticize Cincinnati's defense, but what do you want them to do? Pretty good job, actually. You know, they've held the Broncos to 21 points. It's an NFL game. We're on the road. We're going to the fourth quarter. We've held them to 21 points. And we're on the field all the time. It's the offense, just absolutely nothing at all, which, you know, so I guess Zach Taylor's not even a really good coach to begin with, but these coaches that, like, so you're only good if you have a star quarterback. That's what you're trying to tell us then. Right. So he's gone, and then we're going to lose by 50 every week now? Like, we can't even get a first down because Joe Burrow's not here? Like, I start to look at the coaching staff then, Scott.
Well, that's what I brought up with Mike McDaniel over the years. You know, with Tua, okay, he's halfway decent, but with backup quarterbacks, when Tua's been out, he's been brutal,
right away.
Beyond brutal.
Yeah, well, what do you want me to do, right? What do you want me to do? Like, Stefanski's like that. Well, I can't win with Baker. Well, Baker's winning elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need Joe Flacco, who's 44, whatever years old, and been around because you can't develop a young quarterback. Let's call it out for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can be the head coach when you have a Joe Burrow or a really, really good quarterback. You know, your true colors.
Look at Bill
Belichick
Belichick with Tom Brady. Look at Bill Belichick with Tom Brady without Tom Brady.
Yeah. Did get to the playoffs one year with Mac Jones. I'll give him credit for that. But, it's what you do with the backup quarterbacks to show, okay, now I'm going to coach because now I'm going to have to coach. I can run the regular plays with Chase and Higgins and everyone else, Chase Brown in the backfield, and win. Now that I got to coach and devise some plays when to get guys open, that's when
that's
your
say,
true colors come out.
Joe Gibbs, the most underrated coach in NFL history. The guy won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. A lot of guys like, no, you know what I mean? Yeah, like even the great John Wooden, God, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you had Bill Walton and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody else was like 5 feet tall. Like, and they were 7, you know what I mean?
And that's when recruiting. If you look into some stories for John Wooden, and you'll if you dig deep enough, you'll find some interesting recruiting stories. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. So I'm not questioning whether he's a great coach or not, but understand there's certain, another guy I've always respected for that. It's like Joe Torre. Joe Torre's a good manager, but Joe Torre managed a lot of different teams, and he never won because he didn't have Derek Jeter, he didn't have Mariano Rivera, he didn't have Bernie Williams, etc. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, the players often make the coach or the manager often, but for Joe Gibbs to win with Mark Rippon, Doug Williams, and Joe Theismann in different, very impressive. That goes to show my system. It's my system. You know what I mean? Like, to me, Scott, it goes to show, it's me. I'm the one. I can win with him. I can win with him. I can win with him. I don't just need one guy, or I had a star and I had a good run with a star. I can win. And that's why I've always thought that Scotty Bowman is the best coach of all the sports. Like, when people debate, like, John Wood is awesome, and I'm not trying to disrespect him, but they were playing against a bunch of 5'8" white guys and stuff. It was like a different era. They were dominant. It was like slanted. Vince Lombardi, let's give him credit. Great coaches. But think about Scotty Bowman. Scotty Bowman brought like an expansion team to the Stanley Cup Finals in the 60s when he was young. He won the Stanley Cup in his first year with the Montreal Canadiens in the 70s. No, they only won 6 cups in 10 years, Scott. Not too bad, right? Nice little run. Yeah. Right? But then he won with the Detroit Red Wings, bro, like in the future. Then he won with the Pittsburgh Penguins and then with the Red Wings. So, like, he won in the 60s, he won in the 90s. That's adaptation, Scott. You know what I mean? I've adapted, new eras, new players. No, I didn't just win because I had Guy Lafleur and Ken Dryden, right? No, right? I won here, I won there, I won there. I won 38 years apart, or whatever. Like, it's like, wow. Like Phil Jackson, Scott. Like, okay, he's great. He had Michael Jordan. Let's call it out for what it is. And then he had Shaq and Kobe. Yeah, okay. Yeah. If he's coaching the Portland Trailblazers, is Phil Jackson a Hall of Famer as a coach right now? No.
Yeah. No system is that good. no, I don't care where we are.
Well, the Blazers were actually good in those days, so you know what I'm saying. I use it as a bad team now as an example.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like if he coached like a bad team. So like the talent, that's why I just about Joe Gibbs, right? That's what I'm saying about Joe Gibbs. Like winning at different cities, different teams. Hell, even quarterbacks, even Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are the only 2 guys to win Super Bowls with 2 different teams. Think about that after all these years.
Yeah, that is interesting. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll check the football. We'll keep an eye on that. And then baseball starts tomorrow. We got a 1 o'clock game. We got a 3 o'clock game. And then we got the 2, I guess you would call them night games. Yankees and Red Sox start at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Kind of weird. We'll get into that and figure out who we're going to play to win the World Series when we come back here on the Grid.
So let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins' head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right, it's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe keeping an eye on Denver and the Cincinnati Bengals, 21-3. Boy, since he just went 3 and out again for the umpteenth time, and one play, Gabe, and
do they ever have the ball, Scott?
Host.
Every time I look up. I'm on Denver, but I got this prop with the passing yards with Jake Browning. And I swear to God, Wetzel, every time I look up, Denver has the ball. Look, Cincinnati, when they get the ball, they keep the ball for like 17 seconds. And it's like, we're giving the ball back to you now. It's like they don't want it.
He's either getting sacked or he's throwing an incompletion. You said this is like Kent State versus Ohio State. I mean, it's embarrassing. Even the boys in Vegas, you got 9 minutes, 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and they're giving you an over-under that's just one touchdown. They know Cincinnati's not scoring. I mean, it's just, man, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Cincinnati's team total right now, and I know we got Mark Zinno coming up, so we'll ask him about their team total. We're running out of time here. It was just up. Don't tell me they pulled it now because it's too late.
5.5.
They
maybe?
pulled. It was 3.5. It was 3.5.
Oof.
Would they score? But they pulled it. It's not up anymore.
Wow. What's going on, Mark? Tell me you don't have Cincinnati tonight. I do, so you're not alone. I bought into them. But what about you?
I was crazy enough and dumb enough and now lucky enough to have teased the Broncos down to 1.5 and teased the Jets up to 8.5. And thank God for garbage time touchdowns.
Garrett Wilson.
I got very nervous when they had that one play from the 2-yard line with 2 seconds left. With the pitchy woo-woo that I thought might have ended up with somehow in the hands of a Miami player who ran it in the end zone. We've seen enough crazy covers at the end of this thing. I'm like, I wasn't worried about the safety because it was 6 and I had 8.5. So I'm like, okay, safety, I'm good. But I just worried about something stupid. And all of a sudden the Dolphins pick it up and run it in. Alas, it ended up being a 6-point game. And I'll be a little bit richer when this is all said and done.
I've always said that whenever I change my mind on a game, I bet a lot of MMA. And, like, your initial gut instinct for a fight is normally right. I like this guy, whatever. You start flip-flopping on stuff, you probably shouldn't bet it. But, dude, I was, like, thinking Cincinnati plus 14.5 on a teaser. You know, you talked about the teasers and stuff. And then it just sort of hit me. I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, do I want Cincinnati or, like, plus the points? Or Denver really going to actually lose this game tonight? And no, I don't think Denver are going to lose this game tonight. And then I said, screw it. I'm pulling the trigger on the Broncos. So I'm actually not surprised, Mark, this game is kind of going the way that it is, except I thought Cincinnati offensively would punch back a little bit more than they have because their defense actually played pretty well tonight.
Here's the problem with Cincinnati, and Scott knows where I'm going with this because I've said this for about 2.5 years now, that Zach Taylor is an awful coach. He is an awful, awful football coach. And the problem is that when you have an injury of this magnitude, you have to have a coach who can scheme around it. You have to have the coach who can devise game plans that cover up your weaknesses and deficiencies. That is not Zach Taylor. He can't cover up weaknesses and deficiencies when he's got a 100% healthy team, let alone when you're missing one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, he can scheme around injuries. He knows how to
look at O'Connell in Minnesota, guys, right? He has a different quarterback all the time. He figures it out.
The point is that this is not this team. It's not this roster. And my ticket on the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the AFC North is starting to feel a little bit better at this point in time.
That's not bad. Yeah. He's 8-23 without Joey B. Ryan Finley, Browning, Brandon Allen, Andy Dalton.
I laughed
8-23.
I laughed at the people like, the Bengals may be all right. Jake Browning's a good backup. No, he's not. Okay. There's no such thing as a good backup. You're either a good quarterback or you're not. You're either a starter or you're not. If you're not a starter, guess what? That means you're not a good quarterback by default. With the exception of Kirk Cousins, who was a starter and got benched because the Falcons made a wildly insane organizational decision to draft a quarterback 8th overall after signing Kirk Cousins. Outside of that guy, every other backup stinks, and they stink for a reason. Did you watch Marcus Mariota on Sunday? He is awful. He is pathetically bad. And the idea that there's a backup in this league who could be Nick Foles or Jeff Hostetler, stop it. Those are once in a generation type examples, and they don't show up.
But like you said, and I don't disagree with a lot of what you just said there, but the Bengals were bad with Joe Burrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I started thinking about this game too. I'm like, they would have a hard time if they had Joe Burrow in this game. They're trending in the wrong direction. And, Zach Taylor, unless, they're like a lot of coaches. Oh, I don't have my quarterback, so give me another year. That's the excuse all the time. Yeah, and he'll buy another year here. They're not going to fire him without Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Not the Brown family, the cheap guys.
And they're cheap.
Talk
They're not going to want to hire them.
Yeah, we'll talk some baseball, Mark.
So let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins' head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right, it's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Touchdown Broncos. It's 28-3 now. When we left you, they just scored. I tell you what, this might be our last segment, boys. The way they were chewing up the clock, we're down to 5 minutes. I don't think Cincinnati's going to be calling any timeouts here. So 28-3. They just had a stat there. J.K. Dobbins went over 100 yards. Scott and Gabe talked with Mark Zito. First Broncos running back to get 100 yards in 38 games. That's 2 seasons plus. I mean, that's how bad the Bengals. Although the Bengals defense.
That's why Javonte Williams
thrown out there.
That's why Javonte Williams on the Cowboys now, Scott, and not the Denver Broncos anymore.
Yeah. So 28-3. There's nothing you can really. I don't know. Before we move to baseball, Mark, anything you want to put a bet on? Any final thoughts with the Denver and Cincinnati?
No, I took the under 30.5 live right when we got on air, and then the Broncos had to throw on 3rd and 5. Just run the ball, kick the field goal, and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I know.
They're trying to it's that feel-good moment. They're trying. It's like a college game, right? They're run up the score, home
this
crowd,
guy was wide
and all
open. He was wide open. I mean, yikes.
Can I just say this right now? Like, outside of the other, devastating news with Tyreek Hill that happened tonight, like, if you're somebody, remember, and no one's really into fantasy in this world, but like, if you did fantasy football, Jamar Chase was a guy that a lot of people took with the first overall pick. Not only did you lose Joe Burrow, but Jamar Chase is basically unplayable now at this point. He has no quarterback who can the ball. So
I do still play fantasy, and I have Malik Neighbors on my team in my most expensive league too. And I already had Jaden Reed injured on this. So I'm running out of wide receivers there. Like you said, there's a lot. Look at Malik Neighbors. Like you said, Jamar Chase right now. Jefferson is sort of hit or miss right now on a week-to-week basis. There's a lot of blue-chip wide receivers, Mark, that aren't so big of locks. And I brought it up earlier. Chase has been paid. Right? Like, at some point, at what point does he start not running the route as hard, Mark? You know what I mean? Knowing that the team sucks.
I think it's coming after next week, after this.
Yeah. There's a saying in the NFL. Kyle Turley told me with players. I said, what's it like? He was on the Saints with Ditka. And he goes, Gabe, once you're like 0-10 and you're really bad, there's a saying in the room, for who and for what? They're like, no, I'm not. I don't want to get hurt. I'm not doing that.
I mean,
right? And you notice, you know it, Mark. Teams just back off. I'm not doing that.
No one's willing to shorten their career or get hurt or anything else at this point in time if you're the Bengals. I mean, they are headed for a top 5 draft pick area.
Yeah. Jamar Chase this season, he's got, 25 yards tonight? He had 26 against the Browns. He did have 165 against Jacksonville, and he had 50 last week against Minnesota. I mean, he's had 3 out of his 4 games, 50 yards or less. That is just like, I thought he was the best wide receiver in the NFL. I really did. I still think that. But, man, that's on everybody. That's on the coach. It's on the quarterback. It's on Chase. It's that's just like,
well, look at right now on this play, they just threw him a little quick hit, and he got hit like right away. That's what you should have done earlier in the game with those guys. Get him involved on the first couple of drives instead of trying to hit him deep down the field all the time.
I tell you, it was only for the most part a 2-score game, right? Like this was not like Minnesota last week when they were down 30 the whole game. I mean, this was up until that last drive. Even 21-3.
How about this, guy?
It's not like impossible.
They just put a graphic up. Denver have not run Cincinnati have not run a play on the other side of the 50-yard line since their opening drive tonight.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
They haven't crossed the 50.
Yeah.
That's what things are about. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Let's turn to baseball. We'll put that one aside.
Baseball.
Playoffs start tomorrow, Mark. We'll start at the top. Who's winning it? And then tell me who they're playing.
I would right now go Phillies, and God, I mean, the American League is such a crapshoot. I mean, in the interest of take integrity, I can't pick the Yankees because I've dumped on them all year long and dumped on Aaron Boone all year long. So, I'm rooting
I like
for
your
them.
style. You admit it. I like that you admit that you dumped it
openly and say, I believe the Yankees are going to win this thing. I probably would end up going with Seattle and the Phillies at this point. Philly wins it all.
They got to go through the Dodgers.
I can't wait to get to bet against the Brewers in the first round. I can't wait.
Yeah. San Diego or the Cubs?
I'll say L.A., Seattle right now. That'll be my World Series. I'll throw it out there. L.A., Seattle.
I'm a big trend guy, fellas, and I don't buck never trends ever. Seattle's never been to the World Series. I'm not bucking that trend. So I throw everybody out. So then I kind of see who am I left with? Seattle's never been to the World Series. Throw them out. Cleveland is a great story, but they're not going to the World Series with that hitting. Will you kidding me? Red Sox, they're a year or two probably away. Toronto, it's Toronto. Nah. Who am I left with? I'm left with your Stankies. I'm left with the Stankies, and I like the Dodgers. So I'm going Yankees. 30-1 on that matchup, by the way. Yankees and Dodgers, 30-1. That's not bad.
Worth a shekel. I might invest in that. That said,
I think the Red Sox are going to beat the Yankees in the first round.
Well, they don't have Giolito. Their third best pitcher is out. So if they do, they're going to have to win and they can sweep.
Help them. Giolito's not that good. But it boils down to timely hitting, clutch home runs, and your bullpen. It's not even about starting pitching anymore. These guys get hooked so quick in the playoffs now, and managers are so used to throwing these guys 2-3 innings. Can your bullpen survive 16, 18 outs? Yeah. That's really what it boils down to. And if the answer is no, you're not going to be around long in the playoffs. You got to go back to last year. Without the Yankees timely hitting against Kansas City, they probably don't win that series. What they did to the Cleveland bullpen when it came to timely hitting and clutch home runs was just insane. That's how they got past there. All that stuff went away against the Dodgers, and they got crushed. So,
but you know what, Mark, too, with the Dodgers, people think of Freddie Freeman and the offense and the grand home runs, Ohtani. Dodgers bullpen in the playoffs last year didn't give up a run for like 22 innings in a row. They were great in the playoffs, just point blank. Right. And listen, the problem is, too, in the playoffs, you pitch as many, relievers as you do. It's Russian roulette, right? Sometimes one of them is going to be off, right? And that's where these games blow up on you, Mark.
I'll add this. I mean, the prices on some of these high-level starters in Game 1 are quite interesting. Garrett Crochet is an underdog. Tariq Skubal is only a -160 favorite. We haven't seen those kind of prices since like the opening week of baseball, right? Like those are numbers you haven't seen for the better part of 5 months.
How about Cleveland? No pick 'em. You know, I get it. It's Skubal, but they beat him, and they're playing so bad. You know, the series is in Cleveland, Mark, and I could get the Guardians, who are playing great, at pick 'em against Detroit. Even if they lost to Skubal tomorrow, I would still take Cleveland.
They are absolutely broken. There is nothing about this team that makes you feel really good about it. And it's interesting that they're going with Gavin Williams because Logan Allen has actually been really good against the Tigers this year. I thought he would be the Game 1 guy. If you go back to the start, I think it was on the 18th. I'm sorry, not Logan Allen. Tanner Bybee has been excellent against the Tigers this year. His split numbers are off the charts. He's got a .95 ERA in 3 starts, and they're only hitting a $1.79 against him. I mean, that's the guy I thought that they were going with in Game 1.
Yeah. I will say this about Williams. 1.96 ERA since August 1st for Gavin Williams. You know, the casual baseball fans like, who's that? Hey, listen, he's been great. That's who that is. You know, so Mark, great job as always, man. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
MVP hopes, as far as my eyes can see, out of here. No way. No way. Not with what I'm seeing around this league right now. Josh Allen should be in front of him. He is. Herbert should be in front of him. He's not just yet. Jalen Hurts should be in front of Lamar Jackson. People may not want to hear that, but it's true. Jordan Love is in front of Lamar Jackson. That's a pump the brakes special. Come on now.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. You can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So they're closing out the football game. And in fact, they're taking a couple of these, and I think, in fact, it is just over. So 28-3 will be your final score. I'll give you some of the props here. Let the system kind of kick in. And Gabe and I talking a little baseball. We got the one game starting tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern time, Detroit and Cleveland, then Padres and Cubs at 3. Notice that game starting the second game. This is what makes it interesting, Gabe. So Tigers and Guards starting at 1 o'clock Eastern time. They're not waiting until 4 for theoretically that first game to get over. They're going to start the second game, Padres and Cubs, at 3. Okay, no problem. But then they start the Red Sox-Yankees at 6 o'clock Eastern time, which is in no man's land. Nobody's home. They're all in their cars. That's a stupid start time. And if you want to say, well, they don't want to, have the Dodger game start at 10, okay, but it's just keep the Dodger game starting at 9 o'clock and do what you did earlier in the day. Let the Red Sox game finish. If you start that at 7, start the Dodgers at 9 and do, like I said, what you're doing in the early games. I don't know why they would start Red Sox-Yankees at 6 o'clock. That's the best series on the board. That's the one that's going to attract all the eyes. And while you're not burying it, on a Tuesday afternoon like you are Detroit and Cleveland, I just don't know why they wouldn't start that at 7 o'clock.
I can't explain their television schedule and the purposes they do it, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be a living hell for people to get to Dodger Stadium at 6 o'clock because 9 o'clock Eastern is 6 o'clock local LA time. And It's already like horrible, like traffic in LA. You'll literally have to leave. I remember I was in a playoff game a couple of years ago. I was in Hollywood. I left Hollywood. Usually it's like a 15-minute drive to Dodger Stadium. I remember I left at 4:45, and I got to my seat at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
that long, that bad.
Wow.
Like it's very similar to like the Giants Jets experience getting out of MetLife, or if you're at FanDuel, where you're just screwed. There's nothing you can do unless you have a helicopter. Like there's nothing you can do. There's 56,000 cars, and they're on every turn, and there's nowhere to go, and it just doesn't move. So, I'm not going to complain about the start times. I don't care. I'm sick of it. People bitch all the time in Scott college football. Oh, we're playing at 11. We're playing at this. Oh, we're playing at this time. Because you're in the Big Ten now, or because you move conferences. This way. Who cares what time? People complain about everything right now. So I really don't care whether the game starts at 6 or 7, 9 or 10 or whatever. It doesn't bother me. But I do like the Cleveland Guardians tomorrow, though, at plus 135. I think like you said, I don't care that Scooble's on the hill. I think the Guardians are gonna win the series. Too good of a price to pass up. And I do agree with your take as far as the Dodgers. Hard to take a minus 200. You can lay the 1.5 with them. But to sweep the series at plus money is a good play.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that's probably one of the better plays on the board. I'll start there for my plays. It's hard to make a case for two teams. I think one of them is Cincinnati. Dodgers won the season series 5-1, outscored them 30-15. They've owned this series. They got a better OPS. They got more runs scored. They scored 100 more runs than Cincinnati. They're just they're not playing on the road. Dodgers are at home where Cincinnati's not that good. I think the Dodgers are going to win the first 2, and that's the series. So rather than 270, I'll bank on them winning 2-0, and there's your plus 140, which is a huge stride. It's a 300 plus swing from minus 270 to plus 140. The other one is Detroit and Cleveland. Same thing. Yeah, I don't know how you realistically, unless you just want to say Detroit overall is better in my eyes, and I'm getting maybe an automatic win with Scooble, even though you're not. They're 2-10 their last 12. They're 6-15 their last 21. Cleveland won the season series 8-5, including 5-1 their last 6. They just swept them. They just looked 5 of 6 last week in 2 separate series. They're 19-4. Cleveland is their last 23 games. Gavin Williams is pitching. Listen, I'd rather have Gavin Williams. I tell you the numbers. An ERA of 1.96. It's since August 1st. That's 2 months of pitching. How do you look at that series and say Detroit? I don't understand it.
No, and I totally agree with you. I'm on Cleveland, but the only thing I'll say is totals with the opening first games of baseball in the playoffs. You get these. So look, we got a 6 on the board there. It's a 6.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like, and the other ones are all 7s. There's not even 7.5s. They're all, you got a 6 in Detroit, 7 in San Diego, Chicago. Where I'm going with this is overs. People get suckered into this. Oh, it's a playoff game. It's going to be low scoring in this. Dude, we don't have Tom Seaver on the hill here. Look at the aces that we have.
Right.
Like, who's really, really that good? Garrett Crochet's a stud. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, like you don't have these like stud pitchers on the hill. Blake Snell is really good, but for number one guys, you have a lot of low totals here. Like the Detroit game, like you said, Scooble's really good and Williams has good numbers, even though I still wouldn't play the under 6. I think that the over, Scott, is San Diego, Chicago. Like, would you want to bet an under 7 at Wrigley Field in an afternoon game there? There's no way in hell I would.
No.
Like one crooked inning, dude, and you're there. Like it happens all the time. One pitcher gets lit up all the time.
I don't. Yeah, I gladly take the over there, especially in an afternoon game, right? I mean,
even the 7 at Yankee Stadium. You want to bet an under at Yankee Stadium? I don't care who's on the hill.
And it's the playoffs game. You know crazy things happen in the postseason. These dopey managers yank even their starters.
Some guy that hits 240,
Scott,
starts hitting doubles, and they're doing hit and runs, like you said. They're like, 3-run shot. It's only his 3rd home run of the year. Who would have thunk it? Happens all the time. Tommy Edman was the big hero for the Dodgers last year. No one knows who Tommy Edman was before that. He was just a utility player that the Dodgers picked up.
Yeah. The most unlikeliest of winners to me, Detroit over Cleveland. I don't think the Red Sox are going to beat the Yanks. I really don't. Like, if you think the Red Sox are going to win, then you better bet Crochet tomorrow at plus 114. Because if they don't win tomorrow, they don't have Giolito. I know it's Lucas Giolito. I get that. But he was their 3rd best pitcher, and he was capable of shutting them down. He's out. He's got an elbow injury, which is not good. So now they're probably going to have to go with that rookie, Connolly Early, who, at times was good, but do you really want a rookie at Yankee Stadium? It may be an elimination. What would be an elimination game?
Yeah, kid went to Army. He's got ice in his veins.
Yeah. All right, we'll close up shop next in Game Live Game Times.
So let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right. It's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing up shop. So we got 28-3. We'll get back to the baseball in a second, but I want to throw some numbers out for the prop players out there. So Denver wins 28-3. Obviously, they cover, and the game goes way, way under. Knicks finished up 29 of 42. So completions, attempts go over. Yards 326. That goes over. Does have 2 touchdown passes. That goes over, and 1 interception. Oddly enough, he had an interception, and Jake Browning didn't. Dobbins runs for 101 yards on 16 carries. They ran for 186 yards. Boy, Mims had 6 receptions, rather. Sutton had 5 with that touchdown that Gabe played earlier. R.J. Harvey had 4 receptions with a touchdown as well. So pretty good numbers for Denver, who had how many sacks? They had 3 sacks on Browning. Browning was 14 of 25, 125 yards. Ugly numbers. Brown ran for 40 yards. T. Higgins, 3 receptions for 32 yards, both unders. Chase Brown, 3 receptions, 31 under. And
Bengals
Chase,
quit
5 receptions. Yeah,
their offense
National
stopped trying.
TV.
Like they just didn't really care. But that you watch them play, and you could be a bad team, right? And you could tell okay, they're bad, but they're trying, right? You know what I mean? Like the Jets are trying. You know what I'm saying? But they just. That was pathetic.
Like, I thought
Zach
they
Taylor
tried.
punting on 4th and 2. Like, really, dude? Just go for it. Like, he's for the record, though. I brought it up. You brought it up. We talked about, dude. They don't have. They're not going to hire anybody. So it's not like, get rid of Zach Taylor. So you got to catch lightning in a bottle. That you find some coordinator or some guy that wants to be really lightly paid. Get this, guys. Zach Taylor is the 2nd lowest paid coach in a National Football League. Kellen Moore makes more than he does right now. Like, he is the 2nd. Wow. There's only one person that makes less, and you get what you pay for. Kevin Stefanski is the lowest paid coach in the league.
Really?
$3.5 million. Zach Taylor makes $4.5 million. He's actually overpaid. You know what I mean?
Ohio team, how about that? The Browns and Bungles.
The two cheapest. The 2 cheapest. Like, Ohio State spend more on their coach. Ryan makes more than these 2 combined.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, what does Ryan Day make? My guess is Day makes about 10.
Ohio State's quarterback makes more than these 2 guys. Not even their head coach.
Their safety does. Caleb Downs is in the same range, to be honest. So yeah, Ryan Day's salary $12.5 million.
That's something. That is really amazing.
$12.5 million a year
combined.
So think about that, guy. Like, people, you're not an NFL coach. Like, I don't care. You're in the States, Scott, and the 2 NFL coaches add up their salaries, and it's half of what you make to be the coach of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. Right? So when Ryan Day walks into the room, like, he's at the bottom here. Who was the other? I can get you the list here.
Tennessee. Callahan's making more than that too. Wow.
Yeah. Well, because they're new, right? They're not going to take the job for next to nothing. But that's just my whole point about Cincinnati. They got a guy that's just a guy. It's like Schottenheimer's very lowly paid too. He's right here. Schottenheimer doesn't make any money with Dallas.
I thought they tried last week against Minnesota. Now, it didn't work out. It was a complete meltdown. But they were moving the ball. They tried a little bit. Like, from what I saw the second half, and it was only 21-3, Gabe. I mean, I know that's a lot, but it wasn't like it was a 30, 40-point game. I mean, you score a touchdown, all of a sudden you're down 2 scores. I mean, they weren't out of it by any stretch, but you talk about lethargic and not trying and not seemingly care. That's when coaches
national
theoretically get fired. Right.
Like, I would say, too, like, man, you guys don't even have pride when you're playing on national TV? I'd be worried about, like, the moving forward part.
Yeah, after getting buried last week, on top of it all, like, it's not even like, well, certain games, things just don't happen. You got trashed last week. You're on national TV this week, albeit a short week. Actually, it's a long week. And that's the effort you put out. That's when head coaches get fired. Normally, like, okay, you're not motivating the guys anymore. They're not trying.
But Cincinnati won't. He doesn't make any money. No. They're not. And the excuse will be, well, we don't have Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Well, that's not.
And that'll be the excuse. That'll be the excuse ownership uses to fans. So they can't be hypocritical and then fire the coach for it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like the ownership will be, we didn't, not that we don't pay our defensive players or we're cheap and we always have drama. It'll be like, we didn't have Joe Burrow. Simple as that.
Yeah. When in reality, they had him all last year and it didn't help. So, all right, Joe, Gabe and I will be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern. We got baseball tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. Let's win some money.